Hey everyone, welcome back to Transport Fever 2. This is Errors. We're looking at our beautiful LMS inspired planks train, I guess what we'll call it. Delivering planks to our food factory. And we've got our lovely Volvos in the background delivering those planks across town. We can have a bit of a scroll out and see them do their job. These guys are going to come up around the corner and come in over here and to their delivery. We invented this goods factory over the last couple of episodes, and in particular it takes in food and it takes in paper. The idea that it wraps the paper, or the paper wraps the food, and then it gets put onto pallets, which is the planks, and then those are delivered as goods, and that's how we get goods to towns like Lonestone. We need to deliver a whole lot of food. Currently, we're only doing the planks, and that is what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be making a new food industry, and particularly we're going to be making a fishing industry, and we're going to put it right down here at the bottom of the map, and then probably next time we'll do the equivalent with cows, but I really wanted to just make a nice fish and chip shop today. So in the honor, or in the idea of making new industries, let's invent a new one as well. My plan is to make a fish and chip shop, so fish will come in and also paper, and then out will come food, and then that food will be used both by Ashford as food, as fish and chip food, but also some of that food will come across here and turn into goods, which also Ashford would use, and as I said, so would Lonestone. So to begin with, we need to make a fish and chip shop, so let's do that. I think the appropriate place is to make a new town down here by all these beaches, all these bays, and we are going to use the Advanced Town Builder mod to do that. I give this town about 80 residents and not too much industry. We'll just go 20 and 20ish. We'll go 0 for that last one. This is very industrial, heavy stuff, and I just want to keep this kind of light, much like Ashford, very basic. And I'm thinking, because there used to be a town here based on the roads, I think this might be a good place for it. There's all these bays, so let's see what happens when I go here. I'm going to try to squeeze the town into this part. And so let's do that and see what we get. Royal Leamington Spa. I think that's a name I don't think we're going to keep. Let's call this, since there's so many bays, we'll call it Bays, and we can call it Bays Sport, Bays Smith, Bays Mouth. I think Bays Sport, Bays Port. Yeah, no, let's go Bays Smith. Bays Smith. And this would be the coastal town of Bays Smith. So the very first thing I want to do is actually get down this fish and chip shop, and we will be using the industry freestyle mod for this. So what's going to be happening is we're going to need 3 industries here, I guess. We're going to need an inn, which will be the fish, and they also will need paper. So where's paper? And out the other side will just be food. And so we'll do it at a decent rate. We'll say 100, and we'll take 1 fish. And you know what? Let's take, I was going to say 2 and then a little bit less paper. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take in 2 fish we'll do it 1, 1, 1. Let's not make it complex. And out will be 1. So so 1 fish and 1 paper will make 1 food. And let's get this in here. I think we should be close to the water here. We should make it so that it's on the town edge. We do not need a pad that big. We are actually probably going to hide this under a building actually. So let's shove that right there. And I'm going to hold C so that's a little bit flatter. And we'll call this the Bays Smith Fish and Chip Shop, I guess. Let's put a building on top of this. I think I'm going to use a medieval building. We want something kind of small, so maybe one of these. Yeah, that's about the only choice we've got. So we do have... Do we have any other mods in this realm? I don't think I've got anything else enabled, but this is kind of cool. This is kind of like an appropriate thing. So let's do a little bit of rotation. And does it need to be a little bit higher? I think it needs to be a little bit higher so that that beautiful forecourt happens. And you know what? This can be the Basement Fish and Chip Shop. And let's just underpaint some of that stuff. Actually, we have to paint it to undo it. So brush size, I'm going to make it maybe dirt. Actually, we'll make it gravel, which is what the beach is. All these stones, and you can see the artifact of the actual thing. And so there we have it. Fish plus paper makes bread. Let's give this place a load unload place that is dedicated to it. We're going to use our lovely mod. Let's go that narrow, one terminal on the ground. We'll make this invisible. Street can be 10, nothing, 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 and then we'll put this across the road. Is that going to fit right there? It is. Nice. Actually, what I might do is, can we do 45, 45? Doesn't. Was it liking that? No, it's just maybe 90 on the end. Yeah, something like that. And that can be our dedicated spot for this. Actually, I think we can probably... let me get this. We can give this some asphalt. Yes. And then let's just use town vanilla. We don't need to paint this one. So there you go. That's going to be our thing. Actually, I think gravel's better. Yeah, there we go. And so that's going to be where we're going to load and unload the fish. Let's get a port going. And so, yeah, the fish will go into the unit, and so will the paper, so we'll have to bring paper in. And then this will be also where we pick stuff up and take that bread off to wherever it needs to go to. I think it'd be fantastic if we can just get a port straight in the water across the road, and that should be within distance. I do have a whole lot of mods in this area, and I think in this case, I think the OG in-game one may be what we want to use. So let me do some rotation. And yeah, right there is looking pretty good. You know what? That road right there, we may be able to cut off. So let's do that. I think there's a little bit more rotation. And done. And then let's delete that one. And I'm actually going to give this a road right here. Nice little alleyway right in front of it. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be in, you can see that little white box there. That is our little fish place. So everything's in distance. And I'm kind of happy with the way that that's come out. I think that's a good little access way out into the world. So let's start... Yeah, I was going to say, let's start delivery. And I think that's probably wise. I was umming and ahhing about that, but I think it is wise to start delivery. Let's make a little promenade here. And we'll finish the box. Is a very common thing you'll see by like an ocean area like this. You'll see a road coming down, and hopefully we'll get a whole lot of people building up their stuff. I think I might actually upgrade to this slightly newer road. I've been using this older one, but I think that's actually a situation where that looks pretty cool. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's give this a fence, because I think we do want a little bit of security here, and we'll have to put down a whole lot of trees and stuff for that. All right, the boat's going to go out that way. Let's do the delivery first. So this bread is going to have to go off to the it's destined to go all the way across to Ashford to our place here, and there mustn't be any road there, but that's fine. And then we will put it on the back one. Actually, the front one is deliveries, so let's do one. And yeah, let's call this the Basement Fish and Chips. I suppose that's a half decent name. And we'll have to work out the roads. You can see right there, we don't have any road. Let's put in, I think just a dirt road for now. That can go there. And then let's connect this country road as well, and we might as well do that. And since this road seemingly back here wants to have a friend, you can have a friend. And you know what, that looks cool as well. So yeah, we have the town of Baysmith over here. Let's give it some needs. We have an editor. that advanced town builder mod, it gives us this extra thing. So let's say that this town does want to have bread. We'll just start with that. And so that way some of this fish stuff will come in, and some of the people in town, or 26 people worth of stuff will do that. Do I want to put a truck on this? I am going to put a truck on this just so I don't forget. So let's quickly do this. They're going to be delivering food. And I've got a feeling it's going to be one of these tarpaulin trucks. Let's go, maybe speeds all the rougher the same. I have been using this Volvo a lot. It's kind of cool. I think we'll continue to use that. I'm just going to put it on the line. The reason you do that, and let me just actually see that. I'm going to see how it looks. Okay, yeah, so it goes across. Oh, that's kind of cool. It goes right past our initial farm that we made in the first episode. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And it's actually going to go roughly on the same track as the people going to the mill, but they're actually going to drive past and then go up into town. That's kind of cool. Yeah, the reason why you do that is it starts needs. It begins the desire to do stuff. All right, let's get some fishing done out here. I think I will make the diorama first, and then we will have fun with actual placement of the industry itself. We're going to be using the Ingo, I think it's called the Tourist. Yeah, the Tourist mod. And they have a whole lot of agriculture stuff. I think it may be wise to... what do we have here? I think it's wise to put down probably the... I'm trying to think about how to do this. Do we want to put down... Actually, I think it's under boats. Yeah, under Ingo. What I'm looking for, I think it's wise to put down... I'm looking for... Yeah, jetty. Here we are. This thing best. I want to be able to have this out in the water, and then we'll put those circle things up against it. So let's look for a bit of a cove. I was thinking over there, but maybe this side's good as well. And that actually might give us a reason to bring some passengers over here. I don't know if this is going to become a tourist island. Actually, let's keep it away. So let's use this side for passengers, and we may have another town over here. And then we'll have our industry over here. And then I'm going to put this on this side. And I'm going to make it so it kind of goes into that wall nice. And then we will put in the agriculture right there. So it's going to touch on there. And it'll be on either side. And it probably is wise to continue that out into the water, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe we just want a second set. I'm tempted to maybe just have a second set with a second set of jetty stuff. And we'll put this one here. I'll put this one here. Let's have some fun with some fish. Make this look alive. I think I like these dogfish. Let's go pretty shallow so we can see them. We'll do a 15. So let's have a little bit of play. Okay, that's kind of cool. So okay, let's put all the 15s at 1 meter, and we'll put that in each one. Each one we can have a 15. And then we'll do at 1.5, we'll do a 10. And it can be there, there, and there. And did we get this left one? We didn't. And we'll do a 5, but we'll make them really shallow, like a 0.5, so you can see them. Actually, we'll put them right up where the sand is quite high. So we kind of have access to those. Let's have some fun with some motorboats and stuff. Tourist boat. So I can see these guys having a high-speed one. This is... I believe in 1950, this turns into actually a boat where we can use it for cargo shipping. So that's kind of good to put there as a diorama. And what else do we have? So let's go back to this one. Old boat. Okay, let's put an old boat on the over here. I think we can say, hey, yeah, it's upside down. So let's put this. If we put it sideways, I think it will line up a little bit better. Yeah, we'll put that there. And old boat, and so that can be on the, yeah, I could be over there as well. Do a bit of rotation, And all right, so let's have a decoration, and let's put this over here. I'm just gonna have lots of little fun with this. What we do need is somewhere for these guys to spawn out of. I think over here we do have a whole lot of boat sheds, and so it would be nice to have a shed that matches that nicely. I think. Is there a one that's... I remember in the Great Western Railway series we had one. I don't know whether it's under this way of doing it or under this way of doing it. But there is... I can't remember how I did it. This one. And then, we get a little pier this way. So we'll do that, and we'll have a little pier at the back. And that gives us the ability to, have some boats that are parked around here as well. And so we'll park, that's a bit new. We'll put another angler's boat around here. It's kind of cool. And we don't need too many around here. A raft. I think a raft's a little bit over the top. I don't think that's really required. That's kind of like... bit OTT. And then as far as this guy is concerned, fishing net, this is just single stuff. Paddles, stools. We don't need any of that stuff. Is there a person? Oh, there's tree trunks. We don't need to do that anyway. All right, breakwater. Okay, that's interesting. So let's put down a breakwater so that these things are kind of positioned a little bit more. So we'll do that and that. So they've got kind of like a mooring to the beach. All right, so that is just diorama. Now we need to work out the actual boat stuff. So I believe if we choose, is it this one? I think under here, cargo. Here we go. These are real ones. And so we've got just a straight concrete thing. I don't think that's a little bit too much for this. This is kind of interesting. I like this. It kind of fits the same vibe and same scale. And I think the difference between, if you look at the left-hand side, that's kind of flat, and then this one's going to have a staircase. That's a pretty common thing for the Ingo things. That might be wise. And then large jetty. Okay, this is... I like this idea. This is a bit more practical. I don't know whether we can get that appropriate. I think that's kind of cool. Let me see if I can rotate this so that it's kind of like moored up against these things. And let's do that. And over here, we'll just have some fun with the level. And we'll just make this, like that. I think we can afford to do a little bit of playing there. And there we go. So that way these guys have access. And I think that makes sense. And this becomes our port. Do we actually have two ports, or do we have one port? Oh, cool. Okay. So I think we can make a line from, let's start from the fish. Why not? A new line. And okay, it's both passengers and freight. Interesting. Okay. And we will come over here. I think that tracks pretty good. This is going to be the Base Smith fish farm, I guess. And I suppose Base Smith port sounds cool. And if we wanted, we could bring people over here. I don't think there's a reason to. But we should talk about people. We should get some people going. We need... Is there... Captain standing. So let's bring him up to that level. Should we have him on there? I think that's kind of cool. And is that all there is? We only got one person. I don't think... Is there anybody under here? Firefighter, pandemic... 1900s, policeman, chambermaid, train driver, mailman. Actually, that's kind of not bad. That's kind of looks like a worker. Delivery. Yeah, that looks like someone who might be working on the docks. And so they can be talking about the job today. And out of interest, is there anything that's kind of useful here? Bench. You know what? I think we can have a bench. Yeah, that looks really good there. I love that. As you sit and wait for the boat. Yeah, that's cool. And you know what? We maybe even be able to play with this plank and do that. I don't know if that looks good. The color's wrong. I think it was good as an idea, but the color didn't work out. And I don't know if we need a crane or anything. I don't think that's gonna be required. And I think it's about everything there is. Maybe some pallets, maybe. You know, for the fish boxes or something. But I don't think that's going to be overly interesting. But yeah, adding us a little bit of detail does amazingly make things come to life a little. So yeah, put that there. And you know what? I think each one of these should have a barrel on it just for rubbish reasons. You know, maybe the fish get thrown there or something. And, you know, we should have a ship under construction. Let's find those. Let's go to an old boat. And it doesn't have that. And, yeah, they're working on this. Cool. All right. I think that looks pretty cool. How are the fish looking? Yeah, we probably can put a couple more fish in there if we really wanted. All right. Now, the trick is... this guy is what's going to count. So that's the one who has to have access to the industry. So this is going to be a freestyle industry. It's going to be an output. We'll do 100 for now, fish. We'll go with 20 workers. Actually, those workers will actually come on the boat and come to work. That would be kind of cool. And luckily this isn't out, so it doesn't have a stockpile. And are you joining? I don't think I can get it out here in the water. I don't think there's any way to make that work. I think I need just to put it over here. And you know what? I think it can go... I'll try to find a nice spot there where it doesn't destroy anything. I think it can go right there. And so a bit of Alt-L action. And is that connected? It sure is. I see that little purple there. That's all that matters. And if we click on this, you can see a highlight. Awesome. So this is going to be the Bays Smith. I thought we already named this. Did we not name this? Oh, there's two different sides to it. There is the, if you turn on this one, West and Fish Farm. And so we'll also do the passenger side. I think I'm actually tempted. I'm tempted to delete the passenger side. No, but it will cause people to come out of here. Yeah, anyway. So, in theory, if we get a boat on here, we should see some fish pallets queue up there. And they should come over here. So, let's get a depot down. I don't think any of these are real, like all these ones. I don't think you can actually spawn out of these. I don't think these are real. These are just assets. As much as they're under this depot thing, I don't think they are actually really depots. I think they're kind of fudging it with the way the mod's made. I think I have to use one of these. There you go. There's a whole lot of work vehicles out the front there. Okay, so let's get our first ship for the series. It's going to be small. It's going to take fish, and that leaves us with just a couple. And this goes 22, this goes 25, so it's a fair way. So let's just do that. And you are going to be on line number 9. One day, I'm going to name those lines, but I said it last time and the time before. Today is not that day. Let's watch these guys come out as they jump around. Yeah, we will have to get to, I believe, 1950, because that's when some of the cooler boats turn up and we don't have these going on. Let's have a look at the line. I think the line was half decent. Okay, there's a bit of wiggle waggle, but that's fine. I don't think we have to do anything about that. And yeah, this looks good too. And if we click on that, it will say, hopefully, yep, there it is, supplying 33 fish. And they're going to come from over there, out of our industry expanded fish thing. We need to give this a name. We can actually copy paste this. I'm naming all these because, like, when you go into these menus, for example, that's the line menu, and then here's all the vehicles. Actually, that's a bad example. Here we go. Station certificates. Like, under here, we want these to have names that make sense, right? And so the logging camps and stuff like that. And like, here's that fish farm right there. You can see that's got currently 9 queued up. So yeah, that's why I'm being really pedantic about renaming things. And yeah, here's the cargo station, which is going to do the transfer. That's the thing across the road right there. And yeah, lots of cool stuff. And then I don't think under towns there's much to look at from a name point of view. And lastly, industries. Here's the other side of things. So here's all of the farms that we've been making and the logging camps. And there's that, you know, there's the fish stuff and fish and chip shop. So yeah, pretty cool. You ship one and going the wrong way. Actually, they do take passengers, those people. So if this docked at both the passenger and the thing, passengers would come over here and they would come to work. I believe this guy, if we do configure, yeah, there is 20 workers. And so, oh, look at that. Oh, it's actually filled the platform. We put some things onto there. It's kind of destroyed it a little bit. I think let's move that person and that person, because it seems that they will fit nicely and those guys can talk. Let's get I think it was a delivery man. Yeah, so let's get this person onto that level, and he can talk as well, as they talk about getting all this fish onto here. And we can watch our first docking of the Rigi. That looks pretty good. The scale of that guy versus the scale of this guy is different. Oh, can't even do the platform. And off they go. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to a new boat coming. That'll be much better. But you know what? I think that looks pretty cool. Let's go watch it unload. All right, our guy is coming in for the very first delivery. And in theory, they should just go across to that production point we made, so we won't really see any assets here. Yeah, it would be probably nicer to actually have a smaller port here, because that scale of boat doesn't really match the scale of the industry. And if we get that little box there and turn on graphics again, we can see, yeah, 22 have been delivered. And that will be the end of the story for now, because we haven't delivered paper. So yeah, we definitely need to get paper, paper on a line, so that we can wrap those wrap those fish. I want to say wrap those ships, wrap those fish into fish and chips, and then that will be food for both the locals, and finally destined to go off to Ashford. So yeah, what we should do, I'm just going to do this right now, is I am going to say when you're at the fish farm, hey, please wait for a little bit. Don't leave empty. And this one is empty. Yeah, okay, it's 34, so it's about half full. I think I'm going to, where are we? I'm going to choose the line, and I'm going to give this a different color. Let's give this a nice light blue, since it is in the ocean. With this boat loading up fish, we'll call this the end of the episode. I've thoroughly enjoyed what we've been able to do here. Ingo, huge props for making so many good assets around this fishing industry. There isn't that many mods in the boating space, and this is definitely excellent, and it's great to have in the game. I'm looking forward to buying some of these boats that we can see in front of us. I believe this cargo boat becomes available in 1950, and it'd be cool to see that zipping around the island and picking up the fish and delivering into the port, so we can make those fish and chips. As always, don't forget to subscribe to see more of that action, and throw a like on the video if you got this far. If you can't wait for next episode where we do paper or meat or something, become a member of the channel, and then you will get access to the next video early. Most of the time I think that's somewhere between 3 and 7 days early. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Errors playthrough. Bye everybody.